Giving my prediction for NXT Stand and Deliver happening this Saturday, this weekend. This will be my very first Stand and Deliver. I basically only started watching NXT not too long ago, so I'm not going to try and pretend like I know everything. I've written down all the matches there. I'm going to give you my opinions. Okay, if I don't know something, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to try and predict it anyway and see what we get. Usually I don't involve the pre-show, but today I thought I'm going to because I wanted to. So I've written it down there, make sure I got it right. The first match, which I believe is the only match on the pre-show, is a Fatal 4-Way tag team match, and where the winners get a number one contenders match for the women's tag team titles. Okay, so basically, they are the Metaphor, because I thought they were called something else in the previous video. I don't know what I called them, it's something different though. But it's Lash, Legend, and Jakara Jackson, I know them too. Okay, versus Fatal Influence, I know them too, but it's Fallon Henley and JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. Okay, and they're the two creepy people. Might be wrong there though. Versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Now, Roxanne Perez wanted to be on the actual show, but she's on the pre-show, so I don't know if that works or how it works out. But if that's the situation, I do think it's going to be Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade because they're like the most unlikely people. To me, the most logical sense would be the Metaphor, but there's only two of them. So it's very confusing. I might be getting confused here. But I'm going to go with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, basically because they were friends and then they weren't friends and can they work together. Well, like I said, most logical sense would be the Metaphor, but I'm going to go with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Now on to the main show. I don't know the order of these matches, so I'm just going to start with just literally what I've written down. And that is the 6-woman NXT North American Championship ladder match, which was vacated by Stephanie Vaquer because she didn't want to defend both titles, basically. Okay, let me just make sure I got these right. You've got Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hale. Yeah, but I'm going to go with Sol Ruka because I like her. She's nice. And she's got that weird RKO under the flip thing. I know what I mean. But putting her to win, though, when she's got Zarya as a tag team partner, most people might think it's stupid, but I think it makes more sense. Like, Kalani Jordan's already basically won it, so I would have liked her to win because she's one of my favourites. But I think Sol Ruka is basically an undercard person to win, if that makes sense. I might be wrong there, but I think she deserves to win, and I think she should win. I think she's going to win. So maybe a bit of a stupid guess, but I'm going for it. Might as well carry on with the women. So let's go for the NXT Women's Championship, which is Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker. And that's obviously for the NXT Women's Championship in the Fatal 4-Way. Now, Stephanie Vaquer basically defeated Julia. She got annoyed. Jordan Grace came over from TNA. She clearly wants it. And basically Jada Parker wants a bit of the spotlight. I didn't really know much about Jada Parker before this, but I watched that weird promo package I think she did. And I thought that was actually really good. But I think it's too early for Jordan Grace to win it. I don't think Jada Parker's in the right spot to win it. And Julia's only just lost it. So I do think that Stephanie Vaquer is going to retain it. So I'm going to go for Stephanie Vaquer. Then we've got another tag team match. Obviously the first one being on the pre-show. Which being Fraxium of Nathan Fraser and Axiom taking on the Gauntlet winners from NXT on past Tuesday, which was really good, Hank and Tank, for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, normally I would go for Fraxium, but I think this time I'm going to be brave. It's the NXT's biggest show, right? If they're going to lose it somewhere, I do think they're going to lose it here, and who better than Hank and Tank to win NXT Tag Team Championships. Got a singles match now for a title, which is the Men's North American Championship of Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. Ooh, I'm going to go for Ricky Saints because he's only just won it. It'd be silly if he lost it. Ethan Page is doing this whole thing on TNA as well, I believe. So I don't see the need for him to win the NXT North American Championship when he only ever wanted the world title, and that was like a demotion title from only a few months ago. So to me, I'm going to say Ricky Saints. Last two matches. So we've got a 6-man tag of the D'Angelo family versus Dark State. Okay, I'm written all the names down because obviously Tony D'Angelo. Okay, you've got Stax, which is Channing Lorenzo. I believe he's the underboss. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And then you've got Luca Crucifino. Obviously in Dark State, you've got 4 members, which is Dion Lennox, Cutler James, which I'm sure isn't he like that guy on LFG? It's Bubba Ray's mentoree. What's the word I'm looking for? Unless it's a different person, I might be wrong. Okay, and then you've got Shakon Sugars. That's definitely wrong, but you know who I mean. Okay, or Osiris Griffin. So whichever three they choose, basically the D'Angelo family versus Dark State, because obviously the underboss tried to basically sort it out in the parking lot. Tony D'Angelo was really annoyed at him. Most people think obviously Stacks is probably going to turn on Tony, but what I see happening is Stacks basically trying to help the actual family out, but making a mistake and going wrong. That's where Dark State pick up the win. And obviously that just annoys Tony because he went behind his back again and he said he's trying to do what he did for the family. All this other stuff. So basically, Dark State win because Stacks messes up. Then the triple threat main event where they all look like an evolved Pokemon of each other. Basically, you've got Obafemi as the NXT champion taking on Trick Williams, the former NXT champion, versus Javon Evans, the future NXT champion. Weird. I don't mean future now because it's not the future, is it? So I'm going to go for Obafemi to retain, just because he's Obafemi. Okay, obviously Obafemi's obviously already a big star. Trick Williams is already a big star. That's why they got Javon Evans to basically drop, well, Obafemi 3 times now, then to drop Trick as well as Oba on the previous episode of NXT, so he's more credible. But I don't see him winning. I see Obafemi winning, and I see him pinning Trick Williams. I don't know why. I do. I just do. But basically, plain and simple, nothing extra, nothing long. Not many people watch these videos, especially about NXT, so if you're watching it, well done. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. But anyway, they're my predictions. Let me know your predictions. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how right you are, and then we can decide who's right and wrong. It makes no difference. But please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.